As a lot of comics were joking yesterday, Anthony Weiner is one of the first, if not only politicians to resign for not having sex. He says he just talked about it online, but boy, did he talk and type.
So just what constitutes cheating? With so much social media at our fingertips, literally, is letting your fingers do the walking the same as being there? And just how many people are doing this?
It took a few simple keystrokes, a few suggestive phrases, and some revealing photos. A slow-motion saga unraveling over 3 weeks. A life, a career, toppled by tweeting.
Today I am announcing my resignation from Congress.
Beyond the media spotlight, former Congressman Anthony Weiner must face a very different audience, his pregnant wife. But the conversation in the Weiner home this weekend may not be so different than the one happening in homes across America. References to Twitter and texting.
Who's Velocistar 237?
Oh, that's just a dinosaur toy down the street. That's nothing. Let me.
Cyber affairs and sexting are everywhere.
Watch me on your video phone.
Video phones.
You can watch me on your video phone.
And Facebook flirting.
That's what the Facebook is going to be about. People are going to log on because after all the cake and watermelon, there's a chance they're actually going to get laid. Meet a girl.
How are couples defining infidelity on the internet? When does tweeting amount to cheating?
Anything where you betray the trust of your significant other is a form of cheating.
Kiri Blakely says she's the victim of digital infidelity.
You had your fiancé carry on a secret cyber relationship that you finally found out about.
He did confess to me that he was having fantasies, but as far as I knew, it had not gone into reality. And I went into his computer, and that's when I found out that it had been brought into reality with physical cheating.
Did you confront him?
Yes, absolutely, I confronted him. The one thing I'm grateful for is he wasn't home when I got on the computer. I don't know what would have happened. I don't know if I'd be here or in jail.
For killing him.
Or hurting him.
For years, Kiri says her fiancé had been meeting people he'd connected with online, sending intimate photos of himself and intimate emails.
For me, seeing the emails was almost more devastating than knowing that he had been physically cheating.
Why was that more of a violation?
To see in black and white talk about love or a connection that they might have, or calling each other pet names, things that you really thought were reserved just for you, it's absolutely devastating.
Kiri wrote a book about her fiancé and has been blogging about the Weiner scandal for Forbes.com. She says that unlike an affair of the flesh, cyber cheating brings the betrayal right into your own bedroom.
There used to be some separation between you and the mistress. Maybe you got the country, she got the city. You got Mondays, she got Wednesdays. Now maybe your husband's in bed blackberrying her while he's talking to you.
On ABCnews.com, 86% of people who responded to an informal survey agreed with Kiri. Weiner's words were enough to count as cheating. But Lori Pune, a couples mediator and author of Fight Less, Love More, says there's room for debate.
Is sexting cheating?
Sometimes. Nowadays there are 3 types of cheating. There's the sexual cheating, the emotional cheating, and techno cheating. Now, what falls into that techno cheating line? That's going to be a different answer for everyone.
But isn't it all very blurry? It's starting to get... we're now hooking up and talking to people and establishing relationships online with people.
It is not blurry at all when you sit down together and say, you may not take pictures of yourself and email them to anyone.
Still, what happens in the chat room doesn't always stay there. This man, who asked to be filmed in shadow, said his marriage of 3 years has grown stale.
The excitement, I think, in our relationship had fizzled, and I wasn't looking for anything, I guess, as far as a commitment.
He turned to AshleyMadison.com, a website that connects men and women, many of whom are married, who want to have affairs.
Isn't it time for AshleyMadison.com?
Does your wife have any idea that you're using a service like this?
No.
So how many times do you think you've met up with somebody through the service?
I've done it on a business trip. I've done it back home as well. It's kind of taken the elephant out of the room and just made it very clear and obvious. Here's what you want, here's what I want.
So I can have a virtual date with my potential lover right here, right now.
And with new technology, it's easier to cheat than ever. Noel Biederman is CEO.
How does your site work exactly?
Well, it's discreet, right? And so when you sign up, I never ask you your name. This is about meeting someone more anonymously.
And then we can cap it off with, well, you know.
And is this cyber hookup or is this an actual physical hookup?
Sometimes people can come on the service and say, I'm looking for a cyber affair. But I think the vast majority of people that come to Ashley Madison are definitely looking for sexual interactions.
The company just launched a new mobile application which allows users to find like-minded cheaters within a few square miles, any place, anytime.
It's all GPS location based, right? So you log in, you get off a plane. Hey, I'm here 2 miles away, 3 miles away, looking to have an affair.
If you want, you can send them a text, you can send them a wink or something like that, or hey, feel like grabbing a cup of coffee.
On average, when you do this, how long does it take someone to respond?
About 15 minutes.
But just because it's easier to hook up online, does that mean more people are actually doing it? Most surveys about infidelity reveal that 10 to 15% of married people admit to cheating. One found that 6% of those polled have sent a sexually suggestive photo. This much is clear. Adultery is big business.
We are a wildly successful business.
Like tens of millions of dollars?
Absolutely. 10 million members in 14 countries in 5 languages. Even in countries where infidelity is punishable by death, people still do it.
Are you ever bothered by what you do for a living?
I've been called pimp, a virtual drug dealer, the most hated man in America. I think that all comes back to the same root. The topic of infidelity is vastly misunderstood. Our presidents do it, our favorite athletes do it, your neighbor does it.
And he says women are definitely doing it.
The digital world has really evened the playing field. So I think you're going to see female infidelity rates start climbing closer and closer to male ones.
It is a shame!
The motivation behind Anthony Weiner's explicit messages is unclear. Power, addiction, but now an even bigger question looms. Can this couple heal?
If he gets individual help, their marriage can survive.
Meanwhile, Kiri Blakely is learning to survive too, in the brave new world where the emotional is increasingly entwined with the electronic.
You've been burned twice now. What do you think every time a boyfriend you see picking up a BlackBerry or logging onto the desktop? Does a red flag now immediately go up?
It used to, a lot. But I'm not as anxious about it as I was. You can't be. You can't live your life like that.